and gentlemen, welcome to Wealth Flow with the Black Mentor. My name is Joseph Nantomah, the Black Mentor. On Wealth Flow with the Black Mentor, we talk about how you can become wealthy, not just make money, how you can become wealthy and impact your world. And in today's edition, I have a special guest. Yes, a special guest. And today's edition is special because we are dealing with the ladies in the house. You know, it's a special Father's Day edition, but we're going to give it to the ladies. What can we do without the ladies? Absolutely nothing. So today I'm having no other than my beautiful wife, Onyeka Nantomah. Lady Nantomah, welcome.
Thank you for having me on.
How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
You excited?
I am.
You know, when we talk about wealth in marriage, people just think it's all about just the man, right? And that's the reason why today I decided to do this special pink edition, so we can talk about our journey, you know, how far we've come. We've been married for 10 years,
Yep.
going to 11. And it's very important to understand that, you know, when you're building wealth, there is a part a woman plays.
Absolutely.
But, you know, first and foremost, I've never really asked you this question. Let's put it out there. You know, when I met you, I was broke like a church rat. And you were actually doing better than I am back in Africa. So, you know, tell us a little bit what you were doing then and, you know, what actually made you to talk to me?
Yeah, thank you for having me today. I'm excited. Actually, when we met, I was doing for women's outfits. I sell women's clothing. And then I was really doing well because I was living all by myself in a bigger city, different from where I came from. And I met you, and
Yeah.
and it was a very funny scenario. I know we had a program. You said I was kind of rude, but I just
Yeah,
couldn't-
you were being who you are, you know. But now you're grown, you know. You know, now
Yeah.
you're married to the Black Mentor. You're polished. You know, then you were still younger, 10 years younger than you were
Yeah.
now. So you felt like the whole world was just revolving around you. So guys, let me give you the breakdown. So I was in church. We had this church program, and we were sitting out there, and I saw this beautiful lady. I still remember that day wearing this diamond striped clothing. She, you know, like a leopard.
Yep.
Striped clothing. She's a leopard, you know. And was it tiger, leopard? I don't know.
Yeah.
They're all the same family, right?
Yeah.
So, and she walked past me and kind of hit me on the side. I don't know if that was intentional. And I looked up, but I didn't take it as being rude. I just said, "Hey, hello," and she just waved her hands and just went away. But you know, that was the first time that I noticed you.
Yeah.
You know, that was the scenario. You're like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely, because you know, that period, even though we're in church, I was trying to be, trying to be a Christian, trying to act like a Christian. So when
You were acting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
trying. That's really funny.
Yeah.
You know, then we had this, this occasion where you had to sell some things to my friend.
Oh, that's another day. Let's
Yeah.
talk about the day first, where you kind of gave me the hand.
I
you know?
think I can't remember giving you the hand. I don't know. I guess I was probably like that, like you said back then. You know, youthful exuberance, and for the fact that you were a guy, I also didn't want to,
You're playing hard to
I
get.
was kind of playing sexy hard. So I would say
Okay.
that.
So, on a more serious note now. So, you know, the whole event leading to we actually talking one-on-one, it's a very special thing. And, you know, if you're a lady, you're a guy, there's a whole lot. Yes, we're talking about a story, but I think there's a whole lot you need to learn from the experiences that we've had. And in the next few minutes, we'll be dropping some gems and just learn. So for me, while I was back home, before I met you, I had a friend in Canada, and you know, I was what you would call the lower class back then in Africa, right? Where we just try to survive. We just try to when there's no thriving, it was just survival.
Yep.
And I had a friend that I had to call from Canada and say, hey, things are really hard here. Could you, help me out? and the lady said, hey, you know what, Joseph, I went to this clearance sales. And back then we didn't know what clearance or roomage or whatever. We're in Africa, right?
Yeah.
And the lady's like, hey, we have this clearance or roomage sale we had, and I cleared out some shoes, about $5,000. If you want, and bags, and if you want, I can actually, just send them to you. You could sell them back in Africa. And in this case, it was Nigeria at the time. And you can make some money. That's the only way I can assist you. For some people, they would have been like, this day, people like, okay, I'm asking you for money, but you're giving me stuff to sell. You see, the truth of the matter is a lot of people lose out on opportunities because they don't really know what opportunity is. Yeah. But, just accepting to say, yes, I need those things to sell at that time without even thinking. And this is one of the things successful people do. When successful people hear or are presented proposals, the first thing they say is what? Yes. They say, yes, I can do it, and they go look for a way to do it, Totally. The truth of the matter is a lot of people lose out on opportunities because they don't really know what opportunity is. Yeah. But, just accepting to say, yes, I need those things to sell at that time without even thinking. And this is one of the things successful people do. When successful people hear or are presented proposals, the first thing they say is what? Yes. They say, yes, I can do it, and they go look for a way to do it, Totally. So I already said yes before I realized there were female shoes and female bags that were actually sent. Being sent from Canada at the time. But, I received them through the airport and reached out to a friend and said, hey, look at me here trying to sell some female shoes and female bags. And finally, we agreed. He said he's going to introduce me to someone who's going to buy those bags and shoes from me. And on that fateful day, it was 7 a.m. in the morning. I remember I was up all night. Man, I needed money like, guys, I was a church rat. I didn't even know where my next meal was going to come from. Yeah. So next day, 7 a.m. in the morning, I was in the eatery, just like you have McDonald's, but there's a different one in Africa back at the time. Went there, it was called Mr. Biggs. Yeah, Mr. Biggs. Back in Africa. So I went there waiting with my bags and all the stuff that I was selling.
Early.
And here I am, the lady who I was expecting came with this beautiful lady. I use one stone in killing two birds. Here I am, I'm trying to do business, sell my female bags and shoes. A lot of people say there are no opportunities, but the truth of the matter is, are you choosing your opportunities? Do you feel like people choose? I'm telling a story, but I want us to break it down. Here I am. That is how I met you. If the lady had said, hey, I'm sending you shoes and bag, and I said no, do you think I would have probably met you?
No, I don't think so.
Right? I wouldn't have actually met you.
I don't think so.
But because I said yes, and when the shoes and bag came, I looked for an opportunity to find a way to market the shoe and bags. Yeah. I decided to collaborate with someone who was doing that same business. And that is where a lot of people have issues, in collaboration. Do you have what you want to share with that? People have issues with collaboration. They're like, I cannot do it, instead of finding a way to do it.
Yeah, I think these days, a lot of people, they tend to, even though they know they need money, but they tend to place themselves high. Like, oh, I can't do this. This is because I need money, like you mentioned. Then you want me to go start selling shoes, or you want me to... So that's something people really need to, stop doing. Don't see yourself like you can't do certain things. Whatever you need to do that can take you from point A to point B is worth doing. You understand? All these things are part of the stories, because the truth is that is not your destination. You're actually going somewhere. So all these are going to be part of your testimonies, going to be part of your stories, how, like you're talking about yours, how you had to sell shoes, you had to sell bags, even though they were female stuff, but you had to do them. It's all going to be part of the stories when you're telling your story, when you eventually become wealthy, when you eventually get to the destination or the place where you want to be. It's going to be all part of your story. So
I think that is a great lesson that people should learn. You never be that person that say, well, I don't think I can do it. You should be that person that say, yes, I can do it. Absolutely. Then you find a way to do it, and if possible, you collaborate, right?
You can source it out as well.
Yeah,
you can source it,
and you source it out, or you go through the process. I realize I keep doing that over, and I keep doing that in different phases. I've done that when I was doing in in tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, in the millions. I never get to, like even today, I have someone coming in from Maryland to do some transactions with me, probably flying in any moment. I never see a transaction and say, hey, this is too big or this is too small. What I really try to do is I just find a way to get it done.
Yeah.
And I think that is one of the attitude you should have for being wealthy. You just have the attitude to say, you know what, I'm going to get it done.
Yeah.
So here I am, back to the story. Female bags, female shoes.
Yeah.
I spoke to a lady, Juliet, your friend,
Yeah.
and she says, hey, I'm going to meet you 7 o'clock at the E3. Meet me there, and I'm there. 6:30, I was there, and she walks in, and you were there.
I was there, yeah.
Beautiful woman in the morning. And, my father used to tell me, if you want to really know a beautiful woman, check her out when she wakes up in the morning without the makeup or anything, And you walked in, no makeup, nothing. I was like, oh, my God. I actually forgot I came to make money that morning. And I was like, who is that beautiful lady?
You made money.
And we got talking, and it turned out your friend didn't buy nothing.
No.
The lady who I was expecting to actually do the purchase didn't buy nothing.
No.
And you decided to actually shop with me. Shopped some bags and some shoes. And, me being a smart guy, I gave you one of the bags as a gift
Yes,
as well.
you did.
Because, the Bible says the gift of a man will make a way for him.
Yeah.
Was it because of the bag I gave you that and made you, fall in love with me?
Not really. Not really. When you...
I want to be transparent because there's a lot of people that might be going through our situation.
Yeah.
And, we are all blessed now. We are wealthy. We're doing fine. And there might be somebody that's coming. So I know you're a very private person. I'm the lousy guy.
Yeah.
But, I'm going to be bringing these things a little bit out,
Okay.
just so that people can understand how things, in a real life scenario. I don't read from a book, or I just like being practical and being real.
Yeah,
So was
you.
it the bag that made you like, okay, this guy is great. Maybe I'll give him my number.
No, it wasn't. The incident of the purchase was, it happened that I haven't done my shopping that period because
And it was getting to Christmas.
Yeah, it was getting to Christmas, and I was preparing to travel out of where I was to see my parents, and you showed up, and I'm like, okay, let's go. If they are nice, I'm gonna do some shopping, and they were very nice. I would say the things were very nice, and I bought some pairs of shoes. In the past, I always buy things in pairs. I don't buy one, so yeah. I bought some pairs of shoes and bags, and then you gave me one. It wasn't the gift. It wasn't really the gift, though I appreciated it, and I think the gift was part of it. That's why
Which one is it? Is it the gift or not the gift?
I would say that, no, the gift made me give you my number, and
Yeah.
then we started communicating, and you were telling me about, your mom and all that. I said, okay. So I would say it's the gift, yes.
Yeah, guys, if you're a guy, just give you the tip.
Yeah.
The gift of a man make a way for you.
Yeah.
If you see a beautiful lady there,
Right.
Be generous.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes. If I just bought it and go, I don't think I would have given you my number.
Because because I remember it's been 10 years counting.
And it was a beautiful purse. I loved it.
And I remember the smile was different. It was different from when the one you purchased. So I know it was the gift somehow.
Yeah.
But you got my number and we started talking.
Yeah.
And I remember it was the last day of the year, and I'd spoken to you for close to 3 weeks. I kept in communication with you for like 3 weeks, and we're talking.
Yeah.
Then I remember my birthday, 31st December, I called you in the morning, and you actually said, hey, can we have a talk in the evening? And I was like, oh my God, we've been talking. What kind of talk does she want to talk about? I was really taken aback. And I called you that evening, and you were like, okay, you've been talking to me for 3 good weeks going to a month.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, what do you actually want? Why did you ask me that question?
I would say when I was as a young lady, I really don't keep male friends.
Okay.
I only do female friends. So if I have a male friend, it's either you're my boyfriend or you're my brother.
Okay.
But when you kept calling, most times, whenever you call, we stay on the phone for hours because we talk about things, we talk about different stuff.
And talking about what we spoke about on the phone, would you say our communication was really, really good?
Yes, it was, because I like intelligent guys. And when we started talking, as we were talking, I could hear from the other side that the person I'm talking to is very sound. I know how to, if I see a sound person, I always know, and I like intelligent guys. So if I will have to date you, aside monies, because then I was doing well, you have to be very intelligent. And I saw that in you. So I think that was why we kept having things to talk about.
Yeah,
Because
I always had something.
yeah, so
to
it
bring on
wasn't
the
a
table.
boring conversation. We were
Yeah.
always talking about stuff.
Something new.
And I said to myself one day, am I having a male friend or something? So that's why I said, okay, let me ask this guy, what's up with you?
What exactly are you looking for?
Yeah, so
And I was very direct with my answer.
you were, and I wasn't expecting that answer anyways because it was shocking.
Yeah, so here we are, we're talking, and she's like, hey, dude, you know, what exactly do you want?
Yeah.
And I said, hey, I want a wife,
Yes.
you know, straight
was-
to the point. I said,
yeah.
hey, I want a wife. And we got talking, and, you know, and you said, okay, are you serious? I said, yeah, I'm serious. And you said, okay, if you're really serious, when I come back from my trip, we should take it from there. So you came back from your trip, and now we've been talking, we know where we're going. And I remember, you know, at the time that all I had in my account, if I want to convert it to what do you call it? To dollars, maybe like $250 at the time.
Probably.
Was all I had in my account, you know. And I called and I said, hey, I want to take you. It was Valentine's Day. I got you a little teddy bear.
Yeah.
Took you out, got some food.
Fake flowers.
It was a fake flower. It was flowers.
It was a fake flower. It wasn't.
Flowers are flowers. It's
No.
not. It's not whether it's fake or real. You know what is important is the intention. You know, behind the flower. It was flowers.
Okay.
You know, and I know in Africa, you know, Africans appreciate flowers, but in America, you know, we appreciate flowers here.
Yes, I do know.
So I brought flowers.
Yep.
Whether it was fake or not, it was flowers. I brought flowers. Gentle guy brought flowers.
Yeah.
A little teddy bear on the side.
Yeah.
And I remember when I finished, all that I had left was $90 in my bank account.
Yeah.
And there was something remarkable that happened after we had call it the date. And you asked me, you said, hey, I think you're a great guy. And, you know, you say you want to get married and all that. You asked, why did you ask the question? You said, hey, you want to get married. How are you going to take care of your family?
Yeah, for me, like I said before, I was doing very well. But I don't want to get married to a guy that I will have to take care of. It's not my drive. And I know the meaning of when you say somebody's a wife, somebody's your wife, it means the man has to go out and get food for the families.
Provide.
You have to be the provider. So I had to ask you because I don't want to spoon feed a man. You're not going to be my baby. I don't want to get married to a baby. So I needed to ask you because the last time I checked, you were selling shoes and bags.
Okay, are you going to sell shoes and bags
yes,
forever?
And I know it's not a business that you do all the time. You told me the story of how they came. So I wanted to know, if we get married, how do you intend to take care of me and then the kids that are coming forth? So that was why I asked the question, because I don't like suffering.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I told you right there, remember, I told you with all seriousness, I said, hey, I'm going to set up my business and it's going to be no worldwide. Question,
yes.
Did you believe me?
There is something about me. I have a very strong instinct.
Okay.
So when somebody's talking to me, I always listen to my instinct. So when you said that word, physically, I didn't see nothing, but I had to check with myself. So I felt this connection that this guy is really going to do well. All he needs is like a push. So that was what, and I had to, think.
Is that like a superpower thing or what?
Not really. I believe everybody has instincts. Yes, when it comes to a relationship, I work with my instinct a lot. Like before I met you, there was somebody that really wanted to get married to me, and when I checked with my instinct, I wouldn't say my spirit, it didn't really go well with the guy. So I found out I was trying to force myself into it. So those are the things I use to weigh my relationships when I'm, and you know, when it comes to marriage, I really want to get into it and get into it.
So what you're saying to the ladies out there is, number one, don't get married to a guy you're going to spoon feed.
Yep.
And number two, if a guy comes and he's telling you all the story of how he's going to own the world and all that, they should check their instinct. Is that how it works? Is that what you're telling our viewers out there today?
There probably might not be their instinct, but I don't think there should be something. Yes, because you are not the first guy that I met. So I believe as a lady, you must have been with maybe one or two guys, and then there is something that is in you that will tell you that this is it, or this is not it, or this is what you need to do. And there are so many other things that you need to pray as well, because after the conversation, I also started praying, you know, because I believe so much in God. So I also started praying, and I just needed more confirmation before I can, because we didn't just get married immediately. It also took some while, some planning. So in
but it was just a year. I met you in December. I married you in December.
Yeah, I know. So that's just there's no need to rush. Take your time.
I'm a straight shooter. I just say, hey, this is what I want, and I go get it done.
Yeah, and as a lady, you should also know what you want, because most ladies don't know what they want. You understand?
Okay.
Most people.
Can you throw more light into that? For ladies?
For ladies, yeah.
Ladies need to know what they want. So you're saying, like, before even the guy comes, you already defined everything you want in a man, both what you want presently and what you're looking to see in the future?
I think the first thing is defining what you want for yourself.
Okay.
You have to know what you want for yourself before you can now think about, okay, this man, is he going to fit into what I want for myself? Or, I know in marriages there are few adjustments that needs to, but if it's a major adjustment that you need to make, then I don't think it's worth going into. Okay. So you have to discover yourself first. As a lady, it's very important. Discover yourself first. After the self-discovery, you can now bring in a man, because when you discover yourself, you will be able to make adjustments. If you haven't discovered yourself, when the guy comes and then there are little things, you just say, oh, I'm done. Because you haven't fully discovered who you are, what you want for yourself, the kind of life you want to build. So I think that's a little tip I can give to the ladies. And
okay.
That's a
So you believed me. Your instinct told you this. But one of the things that has been remarkable about our relationship, whether it's good, whether it's challenging, is we always take decisions. I have never seen. I mean, I don't know about other people, but I've never seen a marriage where we take decisions. Sometimes it gets me scared. Like just yesterday, or was it 2 days ago, we went to see a new yacht and we're like, we're buying it. Yeah. And it's not like we have a yacht. We don't have a yacht. We have a yacht. We're buying it and we're taking action. And the moment right there where we're having the date, and if you're watching out there, we're talking about how to be wealthy in a relationship, right? Yeah. In marriage. And this is the pink edition of Wealth Flow with the Black Mentor. And right there, we're still on the date. And I told you that, hey, I'm going to set up my business. It's going to be no worldwide. You said your instinct told you. Right there on the table, you gave me a contact. You said, hey, I have a lawyer, a friend who's a lawyer.
A childhood friend,
a childhood friend who's a lawyer, set up the business. And I had $90 in my account. Yeah. But, I want to pass something out here. When she told me that, I could have said, you know what? Let me save.
Yeah, I wanted to say that. So okay. I think one of the motivating thing that you also did was when I said, okay, I have a childhood friend who is a lawyer, and she can help.
Or an attorney, like they call it in America.
Yes, an attorney, because you need an attorney to set up a company back in Africa. So I said I can call her now, and then you said yes, let's do it. You understand? So you were ready immediately, like.
And I didn't have money. All I had was like $90.
Yeah, you didn't have all the money, and you were ready. And I'm like, this guy is serious, because that's
most people.
Yes, it's one thing to talk, and it's another thing to take action. So you
and talk is cheap.
Yeah, you said it, and you were ready immediately to take action, even with the little money you had.
Yeah. So I had $90 in my wallet, and what happened was, you said, hey, I have an attorney friend who can do this. I'm like, call her. And we called the lady, and she said it's like $250 at the time if you want to convert the money. She said it's like $250. And I asked a very remarkable question. I said, how much is it going to take for us to start? Yeah. You don't need all that you need to be wealthy immediately. No. You just start where you are. start where you are with what you have.
Yeah.
So I had $90, and this is we, doing the equivalent back because we're in Africa.
Yeah.
We had $90 in my account, and I said, let's call the lady. I asked her, I said, hey, how much is it going to cost to do the business, to set up the business? She says it's $250, and I asked her, I said, how much is it going to cost for me to deposit?
Yeah.
And guess what she said?
$90. Yeah.
And I said, hey, I have $90.
Yes.
And right there, I sent her the $90. And while she was going through the process, because,
name search and all that.
Doing the search and all that, we gave her 3 names. One of the names came and it was approved.
Yeah.
And even before the articles of organization came, I already set up the name with letter-headed papers.
Yeah.
At the time, it was my coaching business in Africa with bankers, and I already started sending out proposals.
Yeah.
And that is where, being proactive is very important. For you to be wealthy, for you to be, successful, you need to learn to be proactive. The reason we're telling the story is not because we like hearing ourselves talk or because I have a beautiful wife on the shore. I'm telling you how you can go from zero, from $90 that I had in my account to where we are now. We've built real estate over $23 million in assets.
Yeah.
So how did we go from there? Because people just see you on social media, they see you on billboards, they see you driving all the flashy cars and, living large, buying yachts, and they feel, oh, these guys are lucky. I don't think luck. Do you think we've been lucky?
I wouldn't say lucky, because everything that we've achieved, we actually worked for. We've always been on our toes, so I wouldn't say luck. Luck doesn't just happen.
Like you say, luck is for suckers.
No. Yeah. So you have to be, you have to work to get it. You have to. So I wouldn't say
because
luck.
I hear people like, oh, he's lucky, he's not in America. But well, there was an attitude, there's a character that successful people have.
Yep.
And as we're telling the stories, you have to pinpoint them because success leaves clues, right?
Absolutely.
We took action with the last $90. Somebody will be like, that's the only $90 that we have.
So how are you going to survive?
How are you going to survive after you give her the $90? But we didn't think about that. We just focused on what we wanted. Give the lady.
But that was what you had, not what I had.
That was what I had. But at that time, we were into 1 year, so I didn't want to, I didn't want to ask any money, but I gave the $90. And she was like, I wasn't broke, I understand. So that was the $90 that I had, and I gave it out. And finally, before even the name of before the business was approved, I had a first transaction.
Yes, you did.
I had a first transaction, and this transaction was like, if you want to put the equivalent, say $5,000-$6,000.
Yeah.
And I remember, for those who do not know, my first business in Africa, I got a loan from you, $5,000.
Yeah.
And do you think the $5,000 was worth it that you loaned me at the time? Now?
Yes, it was, because after I had made up my mind that I was going to, get married to you.
Okay.
So I said, okay, let me give you all the support that you needed, because we're still going to end up being husband and wife. I know for some people it might not work out. Some people quit the relationship maybe before the marriage and all that. But my case, it wasn't like that, because like I said earlier on, I already checked everything out, checked my instinct, and I knew it was going to work out for me. So
how did you know it was going to work out for you?
Yeah, like I already saw the fire, saw the drive in your eyes. I saw that you were ready to take action. So I just knew that if I loan you $5,000, you have the capacity and the ability to multiply it. So then,
and that is where very, very important. In the United States, there are a lot of people that want to start business and they don't know where to start, and that is part of what we teach people out there. And in America, I say this all the time. There are 3 things. You have to know how to multiply money.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to multiply money, there's a difference. And I don't want to go into a lot of, rhetorics or coaching. There's a difference between a businessman and an entrepreneur. If you don't know the difference, come to my classes. I'll break it down for you. A businessman looks for how they're going to add to their money, but an entrepreneur looks for how they're going to multiply their money.
Yeah.
And that is what the wealthy do. They find ways to multiply their money. Very, very important. You have to find ways to multiply your money. So here you are, you gave me $5,000 and we multiplied it.
Yes, we did.
Multiplied it Use that 5,000. That was what we did all our wedding expenses. You know, we weren't rich, but you know, we were comfortable. We got ourselves a home, rented our first apartment together, moved in.
Yeah.
But you know, it wasn't still we hadn't arrived at the time.
No, not at all. In fact, we moved into
An empty house.
an empty house. Yes.
You know, some people think we fell down from heaven. Like boom, we came down. We have the GMCs, the Mercedes, and we weren't born with that. When we moved in, I remember the most beautiful part of our home was our kitchen.
Yes, because it was all.
Because our kitchen was actually it was gifts from the wedding. So people gave us like the gas, the fridge, all the beautiful stuff you put in the kitchen.
So
the spoons were beautiful, but when you come to the living room, it was empty.
it was empty.
And we used to joke around, we'll echo.
Yeah.
And the echo will go back. But you know, one of the things I want to point out, sweetie, is while we're going through all that, we're actually having fun.
Yes.
Because I just talked about the echo, and I just wanted to point out that. Why do you think we're having fun?
I think because we understood where we were going to. We knew we were actually on a journey. So that is not our destination. So, and we're from Africa. We know how it is when you're traveling. The roads are always bad. So, but it doesn't stop you from going to where you're going. So all that didn't really stop us because we knew we were going somewhere and we had plans together.
I think for me, I knew somewhere in my journey, you know, finding yourself, like you said, you know, getting to a point of self-realization. I knew I was going to be successful. But the thing is, I didn't know the definition of success, and I didn't know we're going to go this far. You know, I just felt, you know, I'm going to have a little home, you know, beautiful wife, children, one car, you know. I never knew I'm going to have houses and lands and, you know, doing business internationally, meeting presidents and meeting governors and senators and dining with all these great men and women. You becoming a lady in Scotland. I never knew my wife was going to be all that, you know. But did you see how far we could get? Did you see, yesterday or 2 days ago, we're having the party, the private party at the yacht, and I saw on your page, I was going to ask you this morning, but I forgot. You posted something on your page. You said, I am living the life that I have always dreamt about. Did you see all of this? Yes,
I am someone who I always admire people who are living, you know, back then, who are living life to the full.
Okay.
I always admire them, and I always tell myself that I want to have this kind of life. I want to have this kind of life. I don't envy people. I don't do that. I admire them because that is what I want for myself. So at the party the other day, it just dawned on me. I said, I'm actually living the life that I wanted. I never thought that I was going to have a yacht.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. But I knew I was going to have the finest things of life.
The finest things of life come with a yacht. Maybe, you know, on your next bed, I'll get to a jet. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Okay.
That would be great.
So you knew you were going to live a beautiful life, but I, for one, I never knew I was going to go this far. You know, your family is very big. My family is small, and I always say this, and not without any form of prejudice or putting my dad down. My dad was a great man, loved him, but my dad didn't understand anything about money. I keep saying it all the time. And you can be out there, yes, your dad is the greatest man in the world and all that, but the truth of the matter is you're struggling. That's the truth. And the reason why you're struggling is because 98%, if not 100% of people in the world learn financial literacy from their parents.
Yes.
And a lot of times, 98% of those people don't know nothing about money. Now, that doesn't mean your dad or your mom is a bad person. That's not what we mean. What we actually are just putting out there, which is the basic truth, is a lot of our parents don't know anything about money.
They don't.
And what they know is what they teach us as children. Now, we know better. Like, you know, we're setting foundations for our children, setting up trust accounts, investing on their behalf, putting monies aside, you know, and all this beautiful stuff that we have come to know now, right? Yeah. But, you know, in the past, our parents didn't know these things. All they did was, you know, provide food on the table, give you a clothing, and give you a roof over your head and you're fine. And they're like, you know what, when you get older, go to school, get a job,
Yeah.
come take care of us.
Yeah.
When was that? Last week Friday, we bought our first property in the Cayman Islands.
Yeah.
We're building property, we're buying properties in the Cayman Island, probably where we're going to retire. And we're setting all these things, putting all these things in place because we don't see our kids taking care of us. Do you think you're going to get older, like 70, 80, and you're like, hey, Zoe, you haven't sent food money for the month?
No.
Is that what it is?
No, I never liked that. I never liked it because even the Bible told us that a wise man leaves inheritance for his children's children. So why will I grow old and expect them to come take care of me? It's like telling them to come pay back. It's like a debt that they have to pay back. So that has never been
your thought process
at all. I remember last year, one day I walked into Walmart and the lady attending to me, she was just talking to me about having more kids. I'm like, how many do you have? She said she has 4, but she wants to have 2 more, like 2 girls, so that when they grow up, they will take care of her. Like she doesn't want to go to no nursing home. And I'm like, what? Is that what? I said, what?
Yeah, I mean, when I'm old, I'm having maids and servants, one cutting my toes, the other massaging my shoulder.
Exactly. I said, that's a bad thought. You have to think of doing something you have to leave money for your kids, not them taking care of you because you don't want to go to no nursing home.
And these are thought processes that we're talking about that a lot of parents, pass from generation to generation to generation because, there's always that one person, and I said it here in the show in the past. I said, hey, I am that guy that is willing to pay the price for our children's children to change the story. Our parents felt like, hey, I'm training you, I'm sending you to school, whatever, or I brought you into this world so you can get older and take care of me. And if you don't take care of them, it felt like you are a failure.
Yeah.
But I said, what, that is not the real narrative. The successful people, the wealthy people, they leave an inheritance for their children's children.
Yeah.
And they want to make sure that every single person in their lineage and even their grandchildren, get to have something after they are gone. Right? This is not a joke, God's sparing our lives, but I don't know who's going to live longer. But I always tell people, I say, hey, if I'm the one who goes first, and I'm saying it on camera now, what I want is a 6 foot, is it 6 foot, 6 feet, 6 footer, whatever it is,
6 feet
picture,
Yeah.
the most handsome picture that I have, not the ugly one,
Yeah.
painted and put right in front of my mansion somewhere in Florida.
Yeah.
Because, I'm going to retire in Florida for a while, then go to the Cayman Islands back and forth. But, my hope is have that there so that when people are walking into our home, they'll be like, who is this dude? And, that is the legacy I want. I don't need no crazy funeral, whatever. You don't need to spend $100,000 putting me in the ground. Even if you spend $20,000, I'm not going to know you spent $20,000 putting me on the ground. That money should be used for something important. But that's what I want. I want my children's children to know the sacrifices that we've made. And that's why we're telling today's story. We started the business with $5,000, and we started building, and we went from one step to the next, one step to the next, one step to the next. I remember you shutting down your business, and I came into the forefront. And this is another thing. When we got married, that year we got married, 2011. We got married December 2011.
Yes.
And January of 2012, I left home.
You went out of the house. Yeah.
I was out of the home for how long? A whole year.
Yeah.
How was it back then? Because a lot of people want to be wealthy, they want to be rich, but they don't want to pay the price.
Yeah.
And, like this morning I posted, I was talking about being consistent, how the law of being consistent helps your business to grow, just like you have the law of gravity. And I was saying that, in 2020, when our business took off, our business really boomed in 2020, even though we started in 2018. And people don't want to pay the price. But in 2020, out of 365 days that year, for a married man, I was out of the house for 158 days. how was it for you? What did you think the sacrifices was worth it? I'm going to go back, but I just want to talk about 2020.
Yes, because I realized that for you to get what you want, you have to show up. And then the things that you were doing then needed your presence. You needed to be there. So most of them were here and most of them were out of state. So if I really want to enjoy the finest things of life that I wanted, that I had dreamt of, I have to give you the support that you need to go chase those businesses
so
and all that.
Back to 2012, I left the house for a whole 1 year.
Yeah.
I was in another state. You were in another. I think at a point in June, you became tired.
Yeah.
You took the next flight and came to my
I
state.
had to come.
Spent a few weeks, was it a few days, and went back. But you know, you came in, spent after I've been out for home for a whole 6 months. You came in and spent some time and went back. And the truth of the matter is, these are all the sacrifices that one needs to pay.
Yeah.
You know, 80% of being successful is just showing up.
Yep.
I keep saying this, and people don't understand it.
It
You know,
is.
when you show up, that's when you have the opportunity to negotiate.
Yes.
When you show up, that's when you have the opportunity to put your voice in the room or to say something that will actually create any impact or whatsoever, right?
Absolutely.
But a lot of people don't know this. They think, you know, it's just sitting down and it's Christmas.
You have to, because in business there are certain things that requires your presence. So you have to be there. And there are certain people that want to see you before they can trust you, before they can openly do business with you. So if you have a spouse at home, she or he, because it depends on who is in the forefront, your spouse needs to understand that this person really needs this for us to be able to do this. So it boils down to sacrifice. You have to be willing to sacrifice, because nothing comes easy. Nothing. So something
No
has
good thing comes
no
easy.
good thing. No good thing comes easily. I think that's
Because certain things come easy.
So
you know, and fast forward 20, you know, one of the things again that I want to point out is affirmations.
Yeah.
I remember, like I said, when we started doing business, and I started doing international business, and I recall we had took out loans, and I traveled for the first time, international trips.
Yep.
And when I came back for the first time, I was like, oh my God, honey, Dubai is so beautiful.
Beautiful.
And I said, you know what? And I remember you were pregnant at the time.
No, I just had a baby. My baby was she was.
Wait, you just had Zoe.
She was about a month old when you traveled.
Okay, and when I came back, or when I
When you traveled. Yeah.
And I came back and I said, hey, I'm going to take you guys to Dubai.
Yeah.
And I remember you rolling your eyes
like,
oh yeah, right. It's an
Yeah.
expensive trip.
Yeah, because I was just calculating that, okay, those monies, you can use them for more businesses, you know. But I wasn't thinking about, I rolled my eyes, you're right.
Yeah. And I remember taking you and Zoe at the time to Dubai. And after that trip, Dubai became like
Wow.
I don't know, like our office.
Yeah.
We just go to Dubai,
Come back.
whenever we want, we travel. And do you think, taking that risk traveling for the first time, do you think travel adds to your success? Like, does it add to something? Because there are some people, even here in the United States, they've lived all their lives in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I know people who were born in Milwaukee, went to high school in Milwaukee, went to kindergarten in Milwaukee, high school Milwaukee, University of Milwaukee, and they don't even know where Chicago is.
Yeah.
Do you think, we taking the risk to invest in traveling actually helped us to get to where we are now?
It does. It helps a lot. If you're a business person or if you want to venture into businesses, I think I will encourage you to travel, because when you travel, you tend to see people with different cultures. You meet people and interact with people, and then you see life in a different way, not the way that you used to know it. And traveling is it's very, very educational.
Yeah.
It's very, very educational. You learn new things. You bring a new style. Even if you're living in a city and then you travel out, you can bring the style from that city into your city and then put it in your business. Like if you have competitors, it's going to help you. It's going to give you an edge over those other people that don't travel. So for me, I think traveling is
So
very.
traveling, you kind of feel like traveling
It
helped
helped.
us to get to where we are.
Yes, yeah,
Because
we
we
were
always
always
love traveling. You know,
Yeah,
even if we don't go to Dubai, we remember we used to go to Ghana,
yeah,
South Africa. We just wanted to just travel and just leave that comfort zone. You know, a lot of people don't travel, and when you don't travel, you don't meet people.
no,
Let's talk about the experience of one time when we traveled, and at this time it was me. I had two bankers at the time.
yeah,
I had two bankers, and it was a crazy story, but this is a true life story. Um, Myself, I had two bankers. The two wives of the bankers traveled with us, and in between them, they had three kids. So
yeah,
I had four kids and three women.
yeah,
And in Dubai, it is very, very welcome when you have more than one wife. In
yes,
fact, it's encouraged
yeah,
when you to have more than one wife. And I will remember we're traveling, and we got to the airport, and here I was, three women, four children, and everybody thought I was the richest guy in town, and they had to give me VIP treatment from
yeah,
the airport. Oh, yes, sir, because I had
yeah,
these three women, traveling with me.
yep,
And even when I was in the hotel, we were, going to the pool, and we ran into this guy who couldn't help it and came and say, "Are you a very rich man in Africa? You came here with
yeah.
three wives
Are
and
you a
four
prince?
kids."
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, "Are you a
prince?"
prince? Are you a prince in Africa? Came to Dubai with three women and four kids." And I said, "No, I'm not a prince, but I'm a businessman." And it turned out we started talking, and this guy was, what do you call it? He was married to the Putins.
Yeah.
He was married to the one of Putin's cousin or whatever,
Yeah.
the daughter. And what they were doing was they were the ones bringing fertilizers from Russia to Dubai, because Dubai is a desert and it needed a kind of fertilizer to grow trees.
Yeah.
And we grew a rapport, and I got some businesses back then.
Yeah.
Though the business didn't go through, but it was an opportunity. And the reason why I'm bringing this is people keep saying there are no opportunities. They
Yeah.
keep saying there are no opportunities. Is it that opportunities are knocking and people keep throwing it away, or people don't even just recognize opportunities? What do you think is exactly the case?
Most people, they are expecting, they want it to fall on their lap, and then they want the opportunities to say, "Hey, here I am, and you can use me." So
Yeah.
it doesn't work that way. You have to go after it, and you have to be able to know that this is an opportunity. This is
And
something.
seize it.
Yes, this is something that I really need to. Like you said, in businesses there are different keys.
Yeah,
so you
different
have
keys to open different doors.
different doors. So you must be able to know that this is a key to open this door. So let me grab it right now that is in front of me. So
Okay.
you have to be open-minded. Most people they are too
Closed-minded.
close-minded. They always want to vet everything. They always want to, dig into so many things, and businesses doesn't work like that. You have
Who's going to be waiting for you?
Yes, because
Napoleon, he said something. He said, when you have a man or a woman who wants to go into business with you, and if you show them how you're going to be successful, or how they are going to be successful going from point A to point Z, Napoleon, he said, if that person, after you finish showing them all the steps, if that same person said, "I want to go think about it and come back," he said, do not do business with such people.
Yeah.
They are indecisive people.
Yeah.
And I've met a lot of people like that who cannot just take a simple decision in doing things. They think, oh, when they say, "Let me go think about it and come back," they're showing how important they are, or showing how deep thinking. People want to feel like they're deep thinkers. But the truth of the matter is, these days, with technology and so many things at your disposal, it is those who take action immediately that are getting things done.
Absolutely.
Look at when
Yep.
cryptocurrency came. I wish I bought crypto when it was $2.
Yeah.
Now crypto is what, $29,000, $30,000? Those people say, "Oh, let's go think about it." And procrastination comes in, the money goes somewhere else, or they never use it, and at the end of the day, they lose it. They lose out on these things. So opportunities there, and like you said, comfort zone, going out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
One of the things,
Yes.
and I'm going to say it, was when we came to America, a lot of the black people say, "Hey, don't go to where the white guys are."
Yep. You're right.
White people are not going to do you any good. They're
Yeah.
going to take away from you. But I found out, and we found out,
We did. We found
even in the party we had in our yacht in Kenosha, in that party, there were over 500 boat owners. We
Yeah.
were the only black
We were
family
the
there.
only black families there.
But in a way, we're like the most respected in there,
I like it.
you know.
'Cause
But, you
it
know,
kind of puts you on a spotlight, like, oh, these are the only blacks here.
yeah.
So that's how I see it.
Yeah, and you know, when we came to the United States, and if you're out there, you're watching this, you know, you're a black person, you need to get out of your comfort zone. You know, when we came to America, you know, a lot of the people, African Americans, whoever, you know, Africans were like, you know, don't go to where the white people are. They're going to use you. They're going to, you know, they're just going to use you, and you're not going to get anything. But we found out it was not
It was just a mindset.
it was just a mindset,
Yeah.
and it was the other way around,
Yeah.
you know. And I tell people, respect is not given, respect is earned.
Yes.
You know, when
Yes.
we go into this environment and go out of our comfort zone. For example, when I met Governor Scott Walker, I didn't go there begging for arms. I didn't go there saying, hey, sir, you know, I'm an immigrant. I just
Yeah.
came to America.
No,
I need help, you know. I went there and I went to talk about ideas.
Yeah.
And the moment you go on the table, you're talking about ideas and you're talking about things that are going to, you know, improve the next person. I realize they always give you opportunities.
Yes.
You know, they always give you opportunities. So don't sit down on your little small space, because it's a little small space, and say, hey, you know what? I don't want to go there. I remember when we were living in Port Washington Road at one time.
Yeah.
And we had a visitor who came, and he came to visit us, and his car was broken.
Yeah.
And at that time, we didn't have AAA. We just started life. We didn't have all these things. And we said, okay, let's call a mechanic. And we Googled and called a mechanic, and he was black. And he said, where are you guys at? We said, oh, we are in
Fox Point.
Fox Point. And it's like, what are you doing in a white man's neighborhood?
He said, no, I don't go there.
I don't go to those places.
No.
And you know, those were the kind of things that really shocked me. I was like, what does it mean he's not coming to these places? You know, so if you are out there, you know, you need to have a change of mindset.
Yeah.
You need to go out of your comfort zone. You need to go into that place. Every single thing you want to achieve in life is on the other side of fear.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the money, the happiness, the growth, the yacht, the cars, the beautiful family, everything, the money, everything you want is on the other side of fear.
Yeah.
And if you understand that and you can jump over that fence and get on the other side of fear, oh my God, there is so much that is waiting for you on the other side.
Absolutely.
In fact, I found out that when I go into this other ethnicities, white, Chinese, whatever you want to call it, and I go there and I display my intelligence and I display the fact that I can represent two continents.
Yeah.
You know, people don't understand these things. The moment I show people that I can represent two continents, hey, I'm from Africa, I have connections in Africa, and I live in the United States, it becomes a plus, because a lot of people in the United States want to know, how do we do business outside the United States?
Yeah.
Here I am.
Yes.
I can show you.
Yeah.
And a lot of people outside the United States want to do business in the United States. Hey, here I am. So I become the connecting factor. We become the connecting factor.
Yes. Yes.
And now we're connecting continent to continent, and we're showing people how they can do business. Because I hear people say, I mean, international business people, all they're doing international is they're selling on the social media.
Yeah.
You know, I had a guy who said, I'm an international businessman. I said, okay, what countries have you been to? We haven't been into any country, but we ship out of the... I'm like, you're not an international businessman. An international businessman is someone who has visited Europe, Asia, Africa.
Taking their businesses there themselves.
You've taken your businesses there yourself. And we have done this.
Yeah.
I mean, we lived in Africa. We've been to different countries. We've been to, you know, I remember when we were coming to America, when we passed through Turkey.
Yeah.
You know, we've experienced these things and so on, and you can't just sit down. So a lot of these things are opportunities, and a lot of people don't see it. So we started the business started growing, we made a lot of sacrifices. Finally, we had an opportunity. We came to the United States, and it was like a whole different ballgame.
It was.
Started from the scratch.
Yep.
How did you feel when I woke up one morning and I said, hey, we're going to use our rent to pay for Grant Cardon's training, $997?
I'm like, I can't even put my feelings together, but all I was saying in my head is, I'm never going to live on the streets. I will never live on the street because I know the laws. If you don't pay your rent, you're going to be kicked out. And here you are, you're talking about going to pay for a training. At first, I'm like, is this guy selfish or is it for real? We're in America. What's the rush? Let's try and be comfortable before you can do all that. But you being who you are, you know, you're the one who is always seeing ahead. You always see ahead better than I do. So you told me and you said you were going to do it. And I think after let me go back a little. After we had that first Dubai trip, you remember when you told me you were going to take me to Dubai and I doubted you, and you eventually took myself and Zoe to Dubai, I told myself that I was going to believe you 100%. I will bring my own suggestions, but if you don't take it, I was going to go with you. So when you said you were still going to pay it, I said, okay, whatever happens, I'm not going to be the one that's going to live on the streets alone. You're going to live on the streets with me as well.
Okay.
So that was just how.
So we went ahead. I remember at the time, all we had in our bank account was, and you know, you said something that I didn't want to forget. Waiting to be comfortable before you take difficult decisions. That is one thing that kills a lot of people.
Yes,
it puts you in a box. It's a dream killer.
Yeah.
You cannot be comfortable. There is no day you're going to wake up and say, you know what, today all my problems are solved. All my problems have vanished. I am now comfortable. You will never be comfortable. No. Every single day will bring its own challenges. Yes. Every single phase in life that you get to will bring their own challenges.
Absolutely.
So when you say, hey, let's be comfortable, we're going to get, to a certain aspect of our life before we take a $997 train. I was like, what is she talking about? It's just $997. But you were right. All we had in our bank account was our rent.
$840.
Our rent was $840, but all we had in the bank account was $1,050. And here I am removing $997, taking a huge risk of almost putting my family on the street. But I just had this conviction in my heart because I saw this guy screaming on the internet.
Yeah, give me your
if you give me $997, I'm going to change your life forever.
Yeah.
And there is no truer statement, And I discussed with you, and I'm very stubborn when it comes to these things. And I took the decision and I paid $987 and got the training. And when we got the training, I went on social media. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joseph Nantomah, real estate investor.
Yep.
Give me your money. I'm going to invest in America. And I remember one day your mom called you.
Yeah.
Because apparently people were seeing me on social media who knew me back in Africa, this broke dude who doesn't have nothing, coming to America and saying, hey, you can invest with me $100 million, we can buy properties and da-da-da. And your mom called you, and what happened?
So now that you just gave me a flashback.
Yeah.
So she called me and she was like, somebody showed me my mom is not really on social media, so somebody showed it to her that your husband is saying he's going to do businesses. I can do business for you. I can do this. I'm a real, she didn't know how to put it together. I said, Mommy, what is it? He said, just tell your husband to take those things off social media. How can he be calling those kind of amount of money on social media and he doesn't have it? That is not good. He's going to expose himself too much. I said, Mommy, whoever told you that, tell the person to mind their business.
Exactly. And one of the biggest things that kills people's dreams is family.
Yeah.
Our families love us so much that they kill your dreams. They tell you don't go across that line, don't go there.
They sell you their fear.
They sell you their fears, and when you buy into it, you tend to lose out on so many things. And here I am. What they didn't know was I had signed a contract with a company in California that could give us funding up to $100 million. And here I am doing my stuff on social media, calling people, hey, come and do business with us. Because I was representing those people.
Yeah.
And because they didn't have a full preview of what we're doing, they thought it's not possible.
Yeah.
So we just want to encourage you. I'm going to have to invite you again another time so we can, talk how we just spoke like 10 10% of the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh.
And we were already taking over 1 hour.
Really?
You won't believe
Oh my
it.
goodness.
Yeah.
I didn't
So I'm
know
going to
that.
bring you again, in another edition for the pink edition, part 2. We talk about how we started the business, how we grew, the challenges, the big decisions we had to take, how we started making from the hundreds to the tens of hundreds to the millions, and how we're managing those millions. And but I really enjoy talking to you. And do you have any advice to say to anyone before we go?
Yeah, I will advise my ladies out there, like I said, first thing first, work on yourself. You have to learn to discover yourself. If you have to pay a mentor, go ahead and do it. But discover yourself first before you get into any relationship, any lifetime relationship, because marriages are meant to be lifetime relationship. So that way you can be able to support your spouse, you can be able to take decisions together, and then you can have the ability to respect your spouse's decision as well. So that is the little advice that I have for my ladies. And support your man. Give them the push. Give them the support that they need, be it financial if you have it. Don't be stingy with your money. Just know that you are investing into your own future and your children's future. Thank you.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There is nothing more I can say, but thank you for joining us on Nantomah, Lady Nantomah,
Yep.
my beautiful wife. And today is the special edition, the pink edition for the ladies. And we're here talking about her story, how we went from me being a church rat that I was, and now managing real estate over $23 million with over 200 investors all over the world.
Wow, yeah.
So here we are. We're just trying to help you, show you how you can build wealth. And if you like this video, just go ahead, like it, follow, whatever you got to do. Just take action and share it as well. And thank you for watching, and have a beautiful, beautiful day.